Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that is absolutely critical in enterprise IT, but it's often totally misunderstood. It's called escalation thinking. And honestly, getting this right can be the difference between a small hiccup and a full-blown catastrophe.
So let me just start with a question. Have you ever been there? Stuck on a problem, hours are just flying by, and you're thinking, I've got this, I can solve this all by myself.
Or what about this one? You put off telling your manager about an issue, just kind of hoping, maybe even praying, that it'll magically resolve itself before anyone important notices?
And let's be real here. Have you ever waited way too long and then you finally escalate in a total panic, and in the end, you just made everything a whole lot worse? Look, if you're nodding your head to any of these, you are definitely not alone.
Because here is the single most important thing we need to get straight right from the beginning. Escalation is not an admission of failure. It's a core professional strategy.
So, why is it so hard then? Where does all that hesitation come from? Well, we have to look at the battle that's happening inside our own heads. It's the fear of escalation. And most of the time, it comes down to our ego putting our careers at risk. Does this sound familiar? That little voice in your head that whispers, I should know this. If I ask for help, they're all going to think I'm junior, that I don't know what I'm doing.
Or maybe it's this classic, just let me try one more thing. I'm so close. I really don't want to bug the senior guys. They're always swamped. That, right there, is the ego trap, and it is a one-way ticket to some serious delays.
And here's exactly why that whole lone wolf mentality just doesn't work. I mean, take a look at this stack. A modern enterprise environment, like Citrix, is just ridiculously complex. You've got your controllers, your AD, networking, security, cloud stuff. No single person on the planet can be an expert in all of it. It's not possible.
And that brings us to the main point of this whole section. Let's be crystal clear. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. But waiting until everything's on fire and the company is losing money, that is a sign of weakness.
Okay, so what actually happens when we get caught in that ego trap? Let's talk about the true cost of staying silent and see how these delays cause some very, very real damage.
Let's play out a classic and pretty painful scenario. An issue gets reported. You dive in, all by yourself. 2 hours later, you're still digging and you're not really getting anywhere. 4 hours in, the problem is spreading, users are angry, and now the leadership team is joining the call asking that one question you never want to hear. Why are we just finding out about this now?
And here's the kicker. In most of these big situations, the real damage isn't the bug itself. It's the surprise. It's that breakdown in communication that destroys trust way faster than a broken server ever could.
All right, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's switch gears and talk about the solution. This is the professional's playbook, a simple, actionable way to escalate with total confidence.
First thing we have to do is completely redefine the word. Escalation does not mean I give up. It means I am strategically increasing visibility, bringing in the right experts, and protecting the business. See the difference? It's an act of taking control, not surrendering. Now just look at this comparison. On the left, you've got panic mode. Citrix is down, help. That just creates more chaos. On the right, you have a professional. They're calm, they have data, they're specific. Which one of these inspires confidence? It's not even close, right? The professional approach shows you're on top of the investigation, even if you don't have the answer yet. So how do you do it? It's a really simple 4-step process. 1. State the problem clearly. 2. Define the impact. How many people? What systems? 3. Detail what you've already tried. This shows you've done your homework. And 4. State your best guess, your hypothesis. This gives the next person a massive head start.
So, when do you pull the trigger? Well, here are the big ones. If there's a huge business impact, you escalate immediately. If you've hit the absolute wall of what you know how to do, you escalate. If the problem is clearly in another team's territory, like networking or security, you escalate. And this one is huge. If you don't have a clear, tested way to go back, you escalate right away.
Now for our final section, let's zoom out and see how this all connects to the bigger picture. Because this isn't just about fighting fires, it's about fundamentally changing your professional mindset, from being an operator to becoming an architect.
This slide really says it all. The operator thinks, my job is to fix this problem all by myself. It's that hero mentality again. But the architect thinks, my job is to protect the whole system. What is the absolute fastest and safest way to do that? It's a shift from focusing on your own effort to focusing on the health of the system.
And when you really look at what the most senior, most respected engineers do all day, it's this. They see the big picture, they know where their expertise ends and someone else's begins, they communicate early and often, and they always put protecting the business ahead of their own ego.
Because at the end of the day, the goal is not to look like the smartest person in the room. The goal is to keep the systems that run the business stable and reliable. That's it.
So that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Based on all of this, the next time you are face-to-face with a critical production issue, what will you do differently? How will you make that shift from operator to architect? Thanks so much for watching.
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for watching this video. My name is Naresh. I am the content creator behind this YouTube channel. I have created a community for Citrix learners where I will be posting a lot of details on Citrix products and how to work in Citrix environments. I'm going to mention the link in the video description, so you can click on that link and you can become part of the community. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.